Hello everyone, this is Afsana, your subject faculty for Business Research Methods. Today we are going to start Unit 5, Report Writing. For a research report, we need to have a specific format. It is actually a form or a brief description of a research work done by the researcher. Okay, there are different steps and methods, and the format will be used, which will be seen in this video. Research report is a condensed form or a brief descriptions of the research work done by the researcher. It involves several steps to present the report in the form of thesis or dissertation. The purpose of the research here is to present in a conference, okay, and publish in journal article, get grant or the financial aids, have implementation or recommendation in clinical practices. Then it is also for the education and administration format. These are the different types and the characteristics. Technical, manuscript, or something called popular, means publishing in a journal article, and the oral, thesis or dissertation we call it as. Characteristics are, it is very concise, clear, honesty, it is for the honesty, and completeness and maintain the accuracy. The guidelines for a research report is to be objective. You should have some objective that why you are writing a report. Minimize the size of technical language. Don't use too technical language because the reader has to understand what you're trying to say. Use the present tense and active voice, not the future, okay, or the past tense. Treat the data confidential and review and rewrite. When you collect the data, keep the data confidential, don't pass it on to anyone else, okay, and revise the information and then rewrite that content which you are going to write in the report. So you have to keep revise at least of 1 or 2 times and then rewrite the content before you submit. Use the visual aids. A report should show originality. It must provide the ready availability of finding, okay, and then the layout must be appropriate in accordance with the objectives. So you should have a certain objectives too. Report should be free with the grammatical mistakes. Report must present the logical analysis of the subject matters. It must be attempt to solve some intellectual problems. Index must be prepared and appended at the end. At the end, you should give the index column. Why? Because you need to mention the pages also. Report must be attractive in appearance, neat, clear. It could be on typed or in the printed. It should state the policy implications relating to the problem under consideration. Okay. There is something called the bibliography or appendix should be enlisted in the respect of all the technical data in the report. Whatever you are mentioning in the report, that should be acknowledged at the end, last chapter. Before that, we have something called bibliography, are the sources consulted in most of the good reports. So you have to mention that bibliography at the end. So there are few steps which we need to follow. Okay, one is the logical analysis of the subject matter, preparation of the final outline and the rough draft. There you have to rewrite and polish it. Okay, rewriting and polishing is required, and then prepare the final bibliography, then writing the final draft. First, this is the particular format you have to write a report on. preliminary page, first page or the few first pages you will have. Title of the page, which will have the title of your project, your name, for what you are writing for, and you whatever the acknowledgement you need to give it. For example, college, university, all these names should be there with your register number, your name and all. And then approval sheet. You will have a approval letter from the company or from the college that you need to acknowledge, and then acknowledgement for whomever you want to thank for. And then preface or the forward, something like a summary of whole report or abstract we call it as. And then the table of content, how many tables you have used, or the chapters you need to keep adding, like introduction, company profile, industry profile, research methodology, and all this we have to mention in the table of content. And then the list of tables, you have updated the list of you have come up with the tables, right? From the questionnaire you create a tabulation, that tables, which are the tables you have mentioned, that headings you should bring it here. List of figures, in a sense the graphs or the charts which you are using in the research. This will be the format of your research. So you will have an introduction section, methodological session, result session, and then the summary, discussion, and the conclusion. At the end you will also have the implication section. Okay, so next is on preparing the how to prepare research report. Okay, so in your research report, the mini report, you are going to use, these are the different content you are going to use in your report. So that is, so I have given you the example sample report, right? So you can follow the sample report, the cover page where you'll have a title, author and all, and then content page, summary and acknowledgement. These are the format which I can also share, and it is also there in the sample. And you need to do the introduction, methods, what method you have used, and the result and the discussion. So from here, from introduction to the references you need to do. Okay. So you have to write introduction, method, result, discussion or conclusion, and reference. These are the 5 content you need to mention. Okay. So when we are going to use, there is something called different types of report. So 3 different types, that is technical, manuscript, and thesis and dissertation, that is academic. So either you will have the technical or the journal or the popular journals only you will be able to publish, and then the thesis or dissertation, that is the academic level of report. So first we will see the writing of manuscript. Manuscript for the journal articles like will be like this. So here you have an example. So this you can see the journal and the year, okay, and then the topic, author name, which university, address, and the mail ID. This is abstract. Okay, this particular session you can see that how to organize and present a manuscript or a paper for a submission to refer the research journal. Okay, means you have to typically look for the journal. The submission to referred journal typically involves the manuscript, which is like having a referee, having an editor. Most of the researchers, especially beginning researchers, will get into a paper published in a refer journals. Can be a long, sometimes fruitful struggle. Many days or the weeks are spent writing a article that in the end, after a prior review, they scrutinize by editor and not be acceptable by the paper. Some higher status journals have accepted a rate of less than 20% of means the authentication, the uniqueness of the paper should be there based on your paper which you are writing. See, when you are writing a research report, you have to use your own words. You should not copy or paste, or you should not download any document and use some others information in yours. If you are doing that, then it will get rejected in the journals. So, writing a dissertation or the thesis will be involving, it is mostly for the academic research only. But many of the researchers will also be publishing in the paper the same way. But few researchers will be like first complete the research report, then they write for the dissertation, and they will also come out with the degree with like it could be of masters or the thesis itself, but they will also do a PhD with help of the paper which they are coming out, because they found some problem in that particular topic, and then they come out with a solution. When they are able to publish, they will also get the acknowledgement. And if the type of research report is technically approved, and if they are submitting in a thesis format, then that will also be giving them a degree. It could be on the university PhD or the college degrees. Some institutions define then that as a dissertation, and if it is about the research report from the universities, that will be recognized as a thesis, and they will get the PhD. Okay, so there are some common writing and the presentation errors in the research report. Okay, so you have to write in a clarity, and you should not use a sentence, difficult sentence. Okay, you should use a sentence which is very easy. Okay, these people tend to write the difficult terms which is too much having complex, and there should not be any errors in terms of spelling, grammar, and yeah, you should not have too many paragraph or only paragraph, or not maintaining the sentence. At the end you need to mention the reference. Okay, and then the next one is the references. See, here you have something called references in a different format. So we call it as APA format, that is American Psychological Association says that you have to mention that author's name first, and then year, and then the publication of that particular publication, means the published journal, name of the published journal, and the place, and the publisher. Okay, and there are few if it is a book, name, year, and then the editor, and the publications, which publisher, and what is the volume, and the page numbers also will be mentioned in this. Okay, so I will show you in the next video how to make this reference. It is very easy if you have a software. Okay, I will share that along with this video. You have a Mendeley software which will help you to do this references in one click if you have a proper documentation. Okay, thank you for watching. In next video I'll explain you how to make the references. Thank you.